welcome one, welcome all. It's time for the show with no name. So get ready for liftoff. Come on. 7, 6. Come on. 3, 2. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. And get ready for the ride of your life. Welcome, show with no namers from all around the world. As you can probably hear in my voice, I'm pretty fucked. Yeah, I'm pretty fucked. Hey, las cosas como son. But you know what? I know I'll get better in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. En un plis plas. In the blink of an eye. So today, more than ever, bear with me. Bear with me, que significa oso conmigo. No. Well, in this case, it's paciencia conmigo. Yeah, I didn't sleep a wink. You know this expression? You say, no pegué ojo. I didn't sleep a wink last night because, as you can hear, I'm pretty congested. But you know how we do it, folks. The show must go on. So let's kick off with today's Say What soundbite. Say what? All right. It is your Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. This person, oh man, I'll tell you this. A lot of people from my country would recognize this voice, I mean, in no time. Bueno, ya tienes muchas formas de decir en un plis plas. In the blink of an eye. In no time. And what was the other one? We looked at another one too. Well, as always, I want you guys to analyze what you hear, right? I want you to give me what you hear in your best English. Just give me a sentence or two. Hopefully, somebody will be able to get it all before the end of today's show. Again, you'll have 4 chances. You're going to hear this soundbite 4 times, so you have 4 chances to jot it all down. Also, a quick reminder, if you'd like to participate in the question of the week, get in your recordings before Thursday evening. The question of the week we do every Friday, and it's a speaking exercise. A speaking exercise where you get to talk about a different topic in English and practice, I think, what most students need the most, to practice their speaking. So if you've never participated, make this be the first week. And if you've participated week after week, well then, guess what? Then you know, I'm sure you can feel the difference. As I said, maybe another mistake here, one less, one more, depends on the week. But in general, the trend, la tendencia, is to feel more comfortable speaking English the more you speak it. Really, there's no secret. That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. You want to work on vocabulary and enriching your vocabulary? Well, you need to read more, right? And if you read aloud, then you're, enriching your vocabulary and you're working on your speaking. And I think that's the part that we got to work on the most. I know most of you listen to Vaughn Radio for hours on end. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm telling you, it's doing wonders for your ear. But we need to go a step further. We need to always vocalize, all right? Because if not, what are we practicing? So anytime you comment, if you're going to participate in the question of the week or any of the sections, make sure whatever you say or whatever you write in the comments that you also say it aloud. I would say it's even more important than writing it down. All right, so is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you for the first time, and then we can discuss what you heard.
Over the next 6 weeks, you will see so much of me that I will be like everyone to you. It will seem as if all the people who are normally around you are me. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it.
That's right. You can get all of 5 of my books. You can pick them up at vaughntienda.com, along with many other materials, such as the one we're going to look at in today's Pop Quiz.
Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
That's right, folks. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And as always, we take a look at one of the many materials that you can find over at vontienda.com. And today we're going to take a look at a book. Yeah, to take a look at a book. That's right. That was written by one of my great friends, one of your favorite teachers, I would say. And I'm talking about Jimena Holiday. That's right. She wrote a book. Well, she's written many books, but this one is Expresiones en Inglés que deberías conocer. Again, Expresiones en Inglés que deberías conocer. And take a guess. Take a gander. Echa un vistazo. How many expressions do you think this book has? Did you say 500? No, 1,000. 1,000 idiomatic expressions. And you can pick it up for $9.95 at Von Tienda. In fact, I'll share it in the group with you over here so you could have it in one click. Again, it's Expresiones en Inglés que deberías conocer, and it goes over the top 1,000 totally native idiomatic expressions used in the language. All right, so as always, pay attention because I will have a couple questions for you afterwards.
As light as a feather.
Ligero como una pluma. Es ligero como una pluma. Lo puedo levantar con una mano.
It's as light as a feather. I can pick it up with one hand.
¿Qué demonios puede haber en este paquete? Es ligero como una pluma.
What on earth could be inside this package? It's as light as a feather. As luck would have it.
Por suerte. Afortunadamente. Por suerte el vecino tenía una llave de repuesto.
As luck would have it, the neighbor had a spare key.
Afortunadamente vimos un taller no lejos de donde el coche se había averiado.
As luck would have it, we spotted a garage not far from where our car had broken down. As mad as a box of frogs.
Más loco que una cabra. Loco de atar. ¿Por qué has comprado ese soporte para la barbilla portátil? Estás como una cabra.
Why did you buy that portable chin rest? You're as mad as a box of frogs.
¿De qué estaba hablando ella? Está loca de atar.
What was she going on about? She's as mad as a box of frogs. As mad as a hatter.
Más loco que una cabra. Él está más loco que una cabra. ¿Por qué lleva puesto un traje de esquiar en la playa?
He's as mad as a hatter. Why is he wearing a ski suit on the beach?
Oh, no hagas caso a Gary. Está más loco que una cabra.
Oh, ignore Gary. He's as mad as a hatter. As right as rain.
Como si tal cosa. Como nuevo. He tenido amigdalitis las últimas semanas, pero ahora estoy como si tal cosa.
I've had tonsillitis for the last few weeks, but now I'm as right as rain.
Después de su operación de corazón, se sintió como nuevo.
After his heart operation, he felt as right as rain. At cross purposes.
Un diálogo de besugos. Una conversación de besugos. Parece que hemos tenido una conversación de besugos. Yo estaba hablando del 25.
It seems we've been talking at cross purposes. I was talking about the 25th.
Constantemente tienen diálogos de besugos y es muy frustrante.
They're constantly talking at cross purposes and it's so frustrating. At the crack of dawn.
Pegarse un madrugón. De madrugada. Tenemos que pegarnos un madrugón, así que calla y duérmete.
We have to be up at the crack of dawn, so be quiet and go to sleep.
Con un viaje de 8 horas en coche por delante, salieron de madrugada.
With an 8-hour drive ahead of them, they left at the crack of dawn. At the drop of a hat.
En un santiamén. En un abrir y cerrar de ojos. No puedo simplemente hacer lo que él dice en un abrir y cerrar de ojos. Necesito un poco de preaviso.
I can't just do whatever he says at the drop of a hat. I need a little notice.
Ella es muy de fiar. Vendría en un santiamén.
She's very reliable. She would come at the drop of a hat.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town.
That's right, folks. Want to find out more about Vaughn Town? Easy peasy. All you have to do is go over to grupovaughn.com, or you can reach out to us on social media. Also, if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, well, you can stop by in person and you can get your brand spanking new. Maybe you've gotten level tests before. If you haven't, I think it's a great idea. Well, you can see where you stand. You've been putting a lot of time and effort into your English learning. So, well, it would be great to have a professional, somebody from Vaughn, give you an evaluation for free. So contact us if you'd like to get a free level test, or if you want to find out about upcoming events as well. Speaking of, mark your calendars for October 7th. October 7th, Jules Linares, the host of Let's Get Random, she's going to be hosting our next trivia night. So that is October 7th at 8 p.m. That's 2025 is the year. And we hope to see you all there. All right, some really good idiomatic expressions. Another en un santiamén. In no time. In the blink of an eye. Y el que dijeron en el audio, ¿te acuerdas? At the drop of a hat. ¿No? Con la tirada, con la caída de un gorro. At the drop of a hat. All right, well, here's what I want from you guys in today's pop quiz. Now, they gave us the expression to be as light as a feather. That's okay. I think that one's too easy. But it reminded me of another idiomatic expression that has the word feather in it. All right, now you say, Dios los cría y ellos se juntan. You know the expression? It has, you got a clue, it has the word feather in it. All right, Dios los cría y ellos se juntan. I always say that one backwards. I always say Dios lo junta y ellos se crían. Hey, también. So that is the first one. The second one, we looked at a couple different ways to say estás como una cabra, estás loquísimo. Well, there are many synonyms for this, so why don't you give us your favorite one? And I can give you a few people to use as examples if you'd like. So that is the second one. You can, be creative. Give us a synonym for crazy. Nuts, bananas. Bueno, te acabo de usar tres. Pero don't worry, because there are many, many more ways to say crazy or to say mad. But wait a second. How do I know if you're mad angry or mad crazy? You'll know from the tone. You'll know from the context, right? In any situation. Oh, what did he say? Oh, he is mad. Está loco. Está loquísimo. And as we heard in the audio, he's as mad as a hatter. And the last one is hacer algo en la madrugada, a primera hora. All right, there's another totally native idiomatic expression that I'm sure many of you have come across before. I know we've looked at it here on the show. So these are pretty, I would say, in the top 1,000, definitely. In the top 100 even. Well, the second one, it depends which one you use, which synonym for crazy. All right, so the first one, an idiomatic expression that has the word feather in it. And it means that, people who are similar stick together. All right. Number two, a synonym for crazy. I can think of 10 off the top of my head. I already gave you 3. You can use one of the ones I used if you want. It's up to you. Try and use a different one that you haven't used. That's the whole idea, exposing yourself to different ones. And the last one, a primera hora, primerísima hora, okay, en la madrugada. How would we express this concept? All right, there you go, folks. Those are your pop quiz challenges. Let's go on over here to our chat room. I see we've got a lot of students hanging out, learning and laughing with us. Thank you for joining us, amigos. There's Mariona. Mariona says, good morning, AA and family. What's up, Mariona? Great to have you with us, as always. A pleasure. Elena, there she is. She says, good morning, show with no namers and AA. Hope you managed to shake that pesky cold off and get back on your feet soon. That's a totally native there. So to shake it off, quitártelo de encima, sacudirla, to shake that pesky, the adjective pesky means annoying, molesto, right? So yeah, Elena, it's a little bit worse than yesterday. I don't know why. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't get comfortable. I'm taking medicine. In fact, this morning I took a hot shower. I had some throat lozenges. I'm having a cup of tea. I mean, I took some medicine. There's not much else I can do. I've done everything in my power to be good for these 2 hours, but I know you guys will help me as well. And you understand, some days we're under the weather, pachuchillos, and that's okay. It's part of life. It's par for the course. All right. Let's see. There's Chable. Chable says 2:34 a.m. desde Mexico. Mexico in the house. What's up, Chable? You are up a primera hora. There's a perfect example. We can use Chable in our example. Elena says, welcome, Chable. I guess you can't sleep a wink either. Chable says, I drank a lot of coffee. Oh, yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Let's see. Speaking of the best of us, there he is, a master with words. It's German. German says, morning, guys. Morning, German. Great to have you with us on board, my amigo. Chris Valron, there she is. She says, morning, how are you doing? As good as I can be, you know? So am I great? No. But I've done everything, as I told you. You know, I've taken the necessary steps or measures to make sure that I'm as good as I can be. So thank you very much for your concern, guys. Again, it's just a common cold, as we say, no? Un resfriado cualquiera, común, right? But it doesn't make it easier. It makes it a lot harder to talk and all of that stuff. So again, bear with me if you notice my energy is a little bit off or I'm sneezing or coughing, because the other option would be to cancel the show. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that unless I'm like, you know, unless I have like I'm running a really high fever, or, you know, I have like pneumonia, pulmonia. That's different. But a cold, I don't want to stop the show for a simple common cold. So we'll get through it, guys. Lo cumpliremos, lo lograremos. And Chris says, we'll pump energy into you. Te inflaremos con energía. I don't doubt it for a second, Chris. In fact, I'm already feeling your energy, amigos. And wow, we've got so many people participating in our Say What soundbite, also in our pop quiz. So this is great, guys. Lots of people participating today who are ready to rock and roll with us. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite for the second time. We'll check your pop quiz answers as well. Plus, we've got our news report. We've got homophones. We've got Double Trouble. Name that lyric. Name that movie. Homophones. Spelling bee. So many more challenges up ahead. And then when this show is over, you've got many more challenges all afternoon and evening long here on Vaughn Radio. Folks, we'll be right back with much, much more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with no name. Thank you so much for joining us every day. And don't forget to participate in the question of the week. Well, it's coming up soon. And you know how many people have participated already? Are you ready for this? 0. Yeah, no comment. Maybe you're just putting it off. I don't know. It's weird because last week at this point of the week, we had about 8 people. So I guess you guys are having a busy week, or maybe you can't think of a good answer. I don't know. Strange. Well, I think it's an easy one. What season goes best with your personality? Are you more of a summer person because you like to be buck naked? Or you like to walk around barefoot, sin zapatos? Maybe you like the winter because you like to snuggle up under a nice cozy blanket and Netflix and chill. Or maybe you're somebody who likes the idea of rebirth. That's the spring then, when everything comes back to life after the big freeze. Well, whatever one it is, you've got to defend your answer. You can send me a 1-minute voice message. You can send it over to alonso@grupovaughn.com. Again, alonso@grupovaughn.com. And also, if you'd like to send me other ideas for the show, life hacks, world records, wacky world records, or anything else that you may come across, topar con, send it to me. I'll give you credit. Te daré el mérito. Oye, este viene de tal. Right? We say in English, we give credit where credit is due. Donde se debe. Oh, it wasn't my idea. That was actually Chris's idea. So we give credit where credit is due. Donde está debido. Right? When someone's praising us, dándonos elogios. I love these little idiomatic expressions. And if you sprinkle them in, rociarlos, into your English, well, you are going to sound, as we call it, totally freaking native. All right, amigos, let's listen to our Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you for the second time, and I see we've got a lot of people who've already got something to say about it. Let's take a look.
Over the next 6 weeks, you will see so much of me that I will be like everyone to you. It will seem as if all the people who are normally around you are me. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports, but I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit, available at vaughantienda.com. Also, today we're taking a look at expresiones en inglés que deberías conocer. It comes with audio, as we've already heard a little excerpt, and it's written by Jimena Holiday. I mean, you're talking about a pro there, an ace, un as. Well, she's amazing. I think you know that. I don't even have to tell you that. And this is just one of her legacies. Legados. Well, she's left many legacies here at Vaughan in her many, many years working with us. So you can pick up one of those legacies for under $10, $9.95. Guys, you can't even get a freaking McDonald's menu for $9.95. McDonald's, which is absolute garbage. I mean, fast food or shit food. Let's call it what it is. Junk food. And you're like, $12, $14 for a menu? 14 euro? What are we, fucking nuts? Right? When I can get an English book, which will last me for a lifetime with audio for a fraction of that. Yeah. Well, hey, just putting it all into perspective there. Because people, I don't have $10. But then, you stop at Burger King and $25 later, you got 2 menus and little else, poco más. And afterwards, you're left with an upset stomach. Yeah, we say un estómago disgustado. Yeah, mal estómago, con estómago mal. All right, let's see. We've got Born to Iron Man with us as well. Excellent, Born to Iron Man. Great to have you on board. Elena says, it sounds, talking about our Say What soundbite, she says it sounds like a sergeant being tongue-in-cheek with his soldiers about becoming sick of seeing his face so much. Absolutely. Now let's take a look at this tongue-in-cheek, de forma irónica, burlón, ¿no? En chiste. It's like when you tell a joke, piensa, es que viene de esto, cuando cuentas algo y dices, y echas una risita, well, your tongue is on the inside of your cheek. Es como un gesto que haces, de ahí viene, right? Tongue in cheek. Well, I meant that tongue in cheek. Tongue in cheek, not and. Tongue in cheek, okay? And es un humor intencionado de ironía. All right, so excellent. Elena, I can't smell the totally natives today because my nose is all blocked up. And this morning I couldn't hear out of my right ear. But that shower helped a lot. But oh, man. Anyway, let's continue. Excellent job, Elena. Spot on. Let's see. Chable says, does anyone know what happened to Richard Brown? Yeah, sure. He's doing really, really well. And still working in Madrid as well. So, yeah, he's doing really well. The only thing is, I don't think he uses social media anymore. You know, I think he was using it when he was on Vaughn Radio, but I haven't seen him very active over there. So, and thanks for reminding me. I should reach out. Debería contactar con él and see how he's doing. But, oh, yeah, Richard Brown, what a master. Let's see. Chris talking about our Say What soundbite. Chris says, I heard a comedy excerpt. American. So you can say an American comedy excerpt or a sketch, a skit or a sketch. The action seems to be developed in the army, but I didn't get the gist of it. Well, great. You're on the right track, Chris. Definitely. All right, let's see. Who else? Chris is participating in our pop quiz. So she's already done the Say What soundbite. She's doing the pop quiz. Chris, you are checking all the boxes, as we say. Tachando todas. Let's see. The first one, she says, birds of a feather flock together. They are a match made in heaven. So birds of a feather flock, volar en rebaño, you say? Or masa. So birds of a feather, to flock somewhere is eat in masa, right? So birds of a feather, you know it from We Are Family. They say we're like birds of a feather. That's how it sounds. They say we're like birds of a feather. So you can even say, you guys are like birds of a feather. No hay que ni decir la última parte. O sea, os entiendo porque sois amigos. You're like two peas in a pod. Te sabes esa? Dos gotas de agua. You're like, we say, dos guisantes en una vaina. Hey, makes sense, ¿no? Estáis juntitos siempre, inseparables. So birds of a feather flock together. They are a match made in heaven. Son una pareja hecho en el cielo. You say una pareja perfecta. Great, Chris. The next one, she says, although she has a screw loose, esto sigue la historia. Although she has a screw loose. Excellent. La que le encantaba a mi abuelo Alberto. She's screwy. You're screwy. Right? Screwy, screwed up. Right? To have a screw loose. Excellent. And you say the same thing. Destornillado, something like that, right? Atornillado. I've heard you guys say something similar to that. And the last one, she says, we all know you usually get up at the crack of dawn. Chris, knocking it out of the park. Great job. All right, let's see. Elena says, we're all here because birds of a feather flock together. Yes. The next one, she says, I'm afraid my workmate has a screw loose, and he asked the boss for some workload. He'll have to get up at the crack of dawn to finish on time. Excellent. Workload, carga de trabajo. And it's funny, you use the same one. You know this one too. Wacky, right? Wacky world records. Chiflado, crazy. Man, you're wacky. You are zany. ¿Te sabes esa? Zany. Z-A-N-Y. You are zany. You are wacky. You're kooky. You know that one? I know you know that one. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. Kooky, crazy. Man, you're a little bit kooky. Que no es como en español. Kooky. Right? Oh, how cute. You say, que kooky, que cute. No? Well, for us, if you're cuckoo, that's another way to say it. Cuckoo or kooky. Other ways to say you're off your rocker. Toma, me encanta esa. You are off your rocker, man. Estás loquísimo. Estás como una cabra. All right. Great job. And up next, we've got Born to Iron Man. Born to Iron Man's got something to say about our pop quiz today. He says, I wish I could attend any trivia night so I'd meet, así conocería, en vez de I'd met, so I could meet, so así podría conocer, so I could meet a lot of friends and teachers. Hey, the feeling is mutual. We wish you could be there, Born to Iron Man. It would be awesome. Oh man, that would be a special occasion, definitely. And some of you have come. Chris Valrol has come several times from far away. But of course, it depends on your work schedule. If you can, you do shift work de turno, well, sometimes you can make arrangements, ¿no? Hacer arreglos y decir, okay, pues yo te cambio esto por esto. But I know it isn't easy, and thank you for at least making the effort. All right, the next one, he says, as you know, birds of a feather flock together. No doubt about it. The perfect example is all of us here on the show with no name. And then he says, the show with no name is a wacky show. Muy bien, wacky. Lo bueno de wacky es como el crazy en el buen sentido. What? That is wacky, man. But if you tell somebody you're off your rocker, estás mal, estás fatal. Okay, so there are different weights to them. No tiene kooky es más como silly. No, oh, you're a kooky. You're a kook, right? You're cuckoo. You're nuts. You're bananas. You're bonkers. Me encantaba esa porque era un caramelo cuando yo me criaba. You're bonkers, man. You're nuts. You are crazy. And if you really want to really add emphasis, you're crazier than a shithouse rat. Have you heard this one? Las letrinas estas que antes, before plumbing, antes de que la gente tenía las tuberías para que el agua entrara y saliera de casa, right? Before fontanería, plumbing, they had outhouses, or a shithouse, or an outhouse, un poco más, menos vulgar. Pero la expresión, you're crazier than a shithouse rat. O sea, estás más loco que una rata que frecuenta estos baños exteriores. Yeah, that means you're pretty nuts, right? So I'm trying to think if there's any other way. Oh, here's another one. Batty. Man, you are batty. Como un murciélago. Blah, blah, blah. Estás por todas partes. You are batty, man. So we looked at, I would say, 20 different words that mean crazy. Crazy. And it all started with mad. The one I barely use is mad. Why? Well, having so many other words, why would I use enfadado? Right? So to avoid confusion, I usually don't say he's mad. I say he's nuts. He's bananas. Para evitar confusión, como mad puede ser ambas cosas. All right? That's just a little piece of advice for you. And then he says, I used to run at the crack of dawn. Very good, folks. At the crack of dawn. A primera hora, primerísima hora. Piénsalo. Dawn es el amanecer. De hecho, the name Alba, si no me equivoco, la traducción en inglés es Dawn, que es un nombre conocido. Dawn. Alba. Think about it. Same name. Right? You guys weren't the only ones inspired by a sunrise. Right? Or a sunset, whichever one you like the most. All right, let's see. Mariona. Mariona says, all the ambitious kids sit together in class. Birds of a feather flock together. Very good. Birds of a feather flock together. Now, again, you don't even need the flock together part. Me gusta que lo habéis usado para saber que lo sabéis. But you could just say birds of a feather. Es lo que tiene. Es como decir, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Or just, when in Rome. Right? When in Rome. So great. The next one. She says he wants to swim in the lake in the middle of winter. He must be nuts. That's the one I use the most. You can say nutty también. He's nutty. He's nuts. Right? And or he's in the Polar Bear Club, el Club de los Osos Polares. And the last one, Mariona, she says, I'll call you first thing in the morning. Great. Now, this is a little bit different, but yes, it's a great one. So the difference, at the crack of dawn, o sea, no hay, acaba de hacerse día. First thing in the morning también lo puedo usar cuando llegue al trabajo. Right? I'll write to you first thing in the morning. O sea, la primera cosa que haga. So, similar, but there are nuances. Excuse me again for I'm trying to breathe out of one nostril and hear out of one ear, and it's not easy. So I'll call you first thing in the morning. Lo primero, a primera hora o primera cosa que hago. All right, guys, what can I say except excellent job, wonderful job. All right, well, it's time for today's news report.
This is the news report on the show with no name, bringing you the latest breaking news. I'm Alberto Alonso, reporting live.
That's right, folks. All right. I call this story Cheating Scandal Rocks the World Stone Skipping Championships. What? Oh, wait. Okay. Cheating Scandal, un escándalo de jugar con trampa. Cheating Scandal rocks World Stone Skipping Championships. Okay, so what does it mean it rocks it? It devastates it. Okay? So if something rocks, punto. But if something rocks something, man, you rocked her. No, she was devastated. So, and what is stone skipping? Well, there are two ways to call it: stone skipping or stone skimming. You've all done it, I hope. I mean, it's a rite of passage if you're a child. This is taking the flattest rock you can find, the flattest stone, and skipping it or skimming it along the water and seeing how many times you can skip it or skim it. I spent half of my childhood doing this stuff. And I had no idea. I mean, when I was a kid, I dreamed one day I'll be the world champion stone skipper. But I didn't think it was like a real thing. It is. It's a real thing. In fact, 2,200 people participate from 27 countries. And it takes place on the tiny es pequeñito, the tiny island of Easdale, which is located off the west coast of Scotland. So what happened? Well, several competitors were disqualified for tampering. And to tamper with something is to manipular, alterar. All right? If you're tampering, manipulando, tratando de forzar algo, influenciar, you get it? Tamper. A lot of times they talk about the aspirin. It's tamper-proof. Los niños no pueden abrirlo. Un adulto tampoco lo puede abrir. So yes, they were disqualified for tampering. And the rules in the Stone Skimming Championships state that the stones must come from naturally occurring island slate. All right, slate is a kind of rock. Pizarra, okay? Laja, losa, slate, slate se escribe. But they found that some of the stones were suspiciously circular. Like, wait a second. Now, obviously, the flatter it is and the more circular it is, the better it's going to skim or skip, right? So what happened was these participants, these contestants, choose their own stones. Lo eligen ellos. And then the judges use a measuring device. A measuring device para medir. They call it the ring of truth, el anillo de la verdad. And what they do is they ensure, aseguran, or they make sure, that the stones are no bigger than 3 inches in diameter. 3 inches is about 7.62 centimeters. And each competitor is allowed 3 skims, and the stones must bounce at least twice. Come on. Twice? You shouldn't be at the championship if I have to tell you it's got to skim or skip twice. Come on. I think my record was like 6 or 7. Maybe I'll go next year. I'm out of practice. Llevo tiempo sin practicar. But you get 3 skims, and the stones must bounce at least twice in order to be qualified. Now, a guy named Dr. Matthews, aka the Toss Master, to toss is to throw, he said that the judges heard some rumors that there were some nefarious things happening in the competition, that there was some cheating going on, and that there was a little bit of stone doctoring. That's another way to say manipular, to doctor it or to doctor it up, right? I think that photo is doctored, alterado. So it's another word for tampered with. And they realized it was just shaped way too perfectly. And then they realized it was a piece of metal. Yeah, they were able to fool the judges, but not for long. And they said they didn't notice at the time because they fit perfectly. So I guess these guys were familiar with the rules, but they fit perfectly in the ring of truth. So yes, these cheaters rocked the competition to devastate. All right, my amigos, that's your news report. Right now, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. We're halfway through the show, and we've got so much more to go. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the second half of today's show. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning and laughing with me. And I hope you'll stay tuned as we teach you English all afternoon and evening long here on the Vaughn Radio app. Also, you can get our programs wherever you get your podcasts. You've got iVox, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Oh, yeah. And if you're looking for courses, you can go by grupovaughn.com and you can find out about all the special deals we've got going on right now. I think we've even got a deal going on our master's program. Follow us on social media, and this way you'll be in the know. Enterado. That's right. You will be in the know. Another way to say it is in the loop. Que también vale el inverso. Out of the loop. Oh, man, I don't know what's going on. I'm out of the loop. Outa. Out of is outa. I'm out of the loop. Oh, don't worry, man. I'll bring you up to speed. ¿Te sabes esta? Te pondré al día. I am so out of the loop. It's true. In the world of news and all that stuff. All right, but you guys, I know you're ready for some challenges. So we're going to kick off with a challenge where we look at words that tend to be a bit confusing. It's called Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. You know it. It is homophones here on the show with no name. Let's see what we've got for today's homophone. The first word, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. It is carrera. It's also hacer carrera o competir, correr, right? It's also raza, right? ¿De qué raza es tal persona? Okay, o la raza humana. So this word could be a double trouble. You know what? It's going to be a double trouble because I just wrote it down. There you go. Now, I think you're all familiar with this word. I'm going to, take a chance here and say you've all heard this word, right? Okay. And the second word is levantar, subir, okay? Alzar, elevar, aumentar. All right. So, and it's the one where you have to do it. Okay. Transitive versus intransitive. So it's not levantarse como el sol, que lo hace solo. Okay. It's tú lo has levantado. Okay. Y lo vemos. We'll take a look at it more in detail. Okay. So it's van a subir el salario, es ese subir a aumentar, que alguien lo tiene que hacer sobre otra cosa. Cuando el otro, que es rise, esa lo hace, there's nothing acting on it. The sun rises every day. I didn't do anything. It just rises. Okay, so este es el otro. So the first word, carrera, hacer carrera, raza. The second word, levantar, subir, también aumento en inglés americano, un aumento de salario. So there you go, folks. Those are your two words. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them today. The question is, do they sound the same or not? All right, we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
Over the next 6 weeks, you will see so much of me that I will be like everyone to you. It will seem as if all the people who are normally around you are me. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
That's right, folks. More information about the Oxford Test of English. You can get all that information at our website. It's grupovon.com. Also, follow us on social media, and then you'll have access to all that information as well. All right, let's take a look over here. I've got a lot of people participating. Elena is the first one, and she says they are not homophones. German agrees. Born to Iron Man agrees. Chris Valrol agrees. Mariona agrees. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, and Mariona gives us a sentence just like German. Well, let me read the sentence. She decided to raise her hand in the class and join the charity race this weekend. All right, let's see Germans. Raise me up in the morning so that I can go to the race. All right. So the first word, how do you say it? Race, race, right? It's an S sound. It also rhymes with lace, encaje. It also rhymes with pace, ritmo. It rhymes with face, cara o enfrentarse. Say these with me. It's a really important sound to be able to make, right? Mace, mace, which is pepper spray. Case, estuche. So that sound, we need to know it. Ace. Y la palabra, si quitamos la R, es as. I said it before about Jimena. She's a real ace. Okay, so race. As I said, it's a verb. They raced, and it can be race, correr también. No tiene que ser. He was racing around the city center all morning doing things. So it doesn't have to be competir, right? It can be correr también. Okay. And also remember, Fernando Alonso, you call him a pilot. We don't. He's a racer, right? He's not a pilot. Well, you could argue that Formula One cars do fly, but no, we call them racers or, racer is really the best word. Racer. All right, the second word is raise. So listen to the difference. Race. I didn't raise you, no te crié. There's another usage of it. I didn't raise you to race. I didn't raise, right? And again, real simple. Something rises by itself. You raise something, your hand, you raise a doubt, a question, something like this. You can raise it. También lo decimos así. So do they sound the same? Absolutely not. Excellent job, show with no namers. And raise is a regular verb. So every day I raise my daughter. Yesterday I raised my daughter. Zzz. Lately I've raised my daughter. Every week prices rise. ¿Ves? Lo hacen solos. Bueno, alguien sí que lo hace ahí, right? So every week prices rise. Lately prices, no, vamos con el pasado primero. Yesterday prices rose, right? And the last one, lately prices have risen. Did you say risen? I've heard a lot of students say risen. So rise, rose, risen. And I've got to say, those can be really, really confusing, but I think that's the best way to clear it up, right? Rise, you don't need anybody to help you. Raise, you need something to act upon it, okay? And raised is regular, and rise is irregular. I know it sounds confusing, but really, it's not that confusing. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a nice round of applause for Elena. Elena got the Say What soundbite after the third listen. Excellent job, Elena, knocking it out of the park. And we still have one listen left. But folks, right now it's time for Life Hacks.
These are the life hacks you need to know.
That's right, amigos. The life hacks you need to know. If you'd like to send me any life hacks, ones that have worked for you, well, let us know, and I'll share them in one of our life hacks sections. Now, we've been to the car before. We've looked at the car, and many people spend a lot of time in their car. So, well, this time we're not going to look at, though, how to get out if you're stuck in the mud or stuck in the snow. But today we're going to talk a little bit about, well, cleanliness, limpieza, a little bit of cleanliness. And you know what we say in English? Cleanliness is godliness. No, limpieza es de Dios, es obra de Dios. So cleanliness is godliness. And there are, you can bring your car to be really deep cleaned. In fact, we call that detailing, cuando lo limpian muy en profundidad. But that's going to cost you an arm and a leg, And really, they're going to use all these chemicals that you don't want to know what those chemicals have in them. But guess what, amigos? I'm sure all of you have toothpaste at home, right? Who doesn't have a tube of toothpaste? Now, I'm talking about non-gel, no el que lleva gel, the white one, okay? Now, that white toothpaste, by the way, that's good for everything. If you need to fill up holes in the wall where you put thumbtacks, chinchetas, you pop it in there, or a nail. Hey, you don't know how many uses white toothpaste has, okay? So headlight restoration. You've got your headlights, los focos del coche. You've got your high beams and your low beams, right? Your high beams are to see things that are further away, and your low beams are to see the road right in front of you, right? So high beams, you're not supposed to leave your high beams on when you're passing another car that's coming in the opposite direction, right? And I don't know if you guys do this, but in the States, when we want to tell somebody that there's a traffic stop or there are police officers up ahead, we flicker the lights, the headlights. We go click, 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 click. And that means stop speeding, stop acting crazy, because up ahead, you've got either an accident, or, again, there's police presence. But also, if you get caught doing that, you'll get in trouble too. Do you guys do that in Spain? Do you warn other drivers? That's something that I remember in the States all the time, But again, don't get caught, because if the police sees you warning that, warning the other drivers that he or she is up ahead, they're not going to be too happy, because they're trying to raise funds. Mira, toma la palabra raise, recaudar fondos, especially at the end of the month, God forbid they were out there fighting crime. I'm talking about in the United States. I don't know in Spain. But so you got to get some non-gel toothpaste, part one. And what happens? Well, headlights get really foggy, okay? And I don't mean foggy from niebla, but I mean the glass gets really foggy, and it kind of cakes up. You get like a layer on there. To cake up is hacer una capa. So you get like a layer of this, it almost looks like lime deposits, cal, right? From the water, like it forms like this. And it's sure, they're exposed to the elements. You've got rain, you've got snow, you've got, hard winds that are coming at it. So it's natural that they're going to have some bugs on them, and that they're going to get pretty dirty. So if you want to remove grime, what is grime? Grime is dirt, suciedad. If you want to remove grime and restore the shine of your headlights, you've got to get that non-gel toothpaste and start scrubbing. Eso es, frota, frota. And it'll come off. But you got to put a little elbow grease into it. Do you know this one? Un poco de empeño, un poco de fuerza, ¿no? Dad, this isn't coming off. No sale. This stain, esta mancha no sale. Put a little elbow grease into it. Un poco de grasa del codo. Significa, dale fuerte. Ya verás. So, non-gel white toothpaste. You can also use it with your windows, by the way, because, same material, right? Glass. So, you apply a thin layer. Okay, no layer. A thin layer of white toothpaste to the inside of the car windows, and it prevents the fog from forming. I know many people who do this with their goggles. Remember, las gafas de la piscina o de hacer snow, las protectoras, no se llaman glasses, se llaman goggles. So I've seen people do this, with scuba divers, or not just scuba divers, even, people who are just out there, hanging out, because that's the worst. In fact, I never wear goggles because of that, because they fog up. And then I say, what the fog? So yeah, there you go, folks. You can clean those glass surfaces by applying a thin layer of white toothpaste And voila. Again, a little scrubbing, a little elbow grease, and you will restore that shine to your headlights, to your windows, or any glass surface for that matter. So there you go, folks. Some life hacks to clean not just the car, but glass that you might have anywhere. Glass that always gets fogged up. I can't help it. Fogged up? Oh, man, you're fogged up. All right. It's time to move on, though. It's time for our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, amigos. All right. Let's see what we've got over here. We're going to take a look at our spelling bee. A couple comments over here. Let's see. Elena says, this is one of my favorite sections. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, Elena. Chris Valrol says, same here in Spain. I mean, with the headlights and warning. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, then it's a universal thing, right? Elena says, I'll try out that hack, AA, and get back to you. Yeah, guys, try them out. Let us know if it worked for you or not. And as you know, not everything works. You know, a lot of times you watch a video or you read an article on how to do something. You're like, oh, I got it. Perfect. Easy. No problem. And then you start doing it and you're like, this is not looking like it did in the video. This is not looking like the pictures in the article. So sometimes easier said than done. But of course, remember the key element there. Yes, the white toothpaste, but also that elbow grease. Ese empeño to make them shine, to polish them. This is not what you're doing really, in essence, is polishing. To polish, limar, is that the word you say? Polish, que es, cuidado con esa palabra, porque si lleva mayúscula, es Polish. So vamos a decir esta frase. The Polish guy always likes to polish his car. Same spelling. The difference is polish is pulir. That's the word, pulir. Pulir. All right. Pulir, bruñir. I've never heard that one. Sacarle brillo. All right. Well, there you go, my amigos. Some life hacks for you. But let's move on into our spelling bee, which is probably one of the most challenging sections we look at every day, especially this first round here. All right. Now, we're going to look at numbers here today as well. So good luck. It's going to be a tough one. All right. Here we go. The first one is SOICHIRO space HONDA. The second one is TORANOMON. The third one is MINATO, comma, space TOKYO. The next one is CIVIC, and the number that goes with that one is 30 million. The next one is ACCORD, and the number that goes with that one is 14 million. And the last one is FIT/JAZZ, and the number that goes with that one is 5 million. There you go. There you go, amigos. The good thing, the numbers are easy, right? No, it's 30,425,682. No, they're round numbers, números redondos, right? So it should be easy, even though I know numbers, man. All right, let's see if anybody was able to figure it out over here. I'll give you another minute or so, 30 seconds, and then we're going to go through round two. Going once, going twice. All right, folks. It is time for round two of our spelling bee. Now, round two, I expect you to get it. In fact, I'm reading it so that you get it. I want you to get this information down. Are you ready? Jot it down. The first one is SOICHIRO space HONDA. The second one is TORANOMON. The third one is MINATO, comma, space TOKYO. The next one is CIVIC, accompanied by the number 30 million. The next one is ACCORD, accompanied by the number 14 million. And the sixth one is FIT/JAZZ, and the number that goes with that one is 5 million. Remember, we don't say 5 millions, so 5 million. All right, let's go on over here. It looks like Born to Iron Man is taking a stab at it. Let's see if he was able to figure it out. All right, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is the number's wrong. The other ones are okay. So the problem with that one is the number. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol's taking a stab at it. Let's see. Chris, the first one is correct. The second one's correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one, same number over there. Same mistake with the number. All right, let's see. Elena, third time's a charm. A la tercera va la vencida. The first one is correct, Elena. The second one is correct. And Elena, you added an extra letter in the third one. So, no, but your numbers were all right. All right. Well, guys, tough one today, huh? Great job. Great effort, nonetheless. But right now, we've got to hit a quick commercial break. It is time to go to our final commercial break. And when we come back, we've got 26 minutes to make it count. We're going to kick things off with our Double Trouble. We've got our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. Elena already got that one. We'll check our spelling bee words. We've got movies. We've got jokes, birthdays, name that lyric, and so much more to do in the fourth and final part of today's show. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of today's show. Thank you so much for joining us every day here on Vaughn Radio. You can start your day with Rob Grams and the Pro Bow Show. Real English. You've got a master class with Fitz in his program, No Excuses. You've also got the Lunchtime Show. You've got Ruby's program. You've got Jules Linares and Let's Get Random. She's also hosting our upcoming trivia nights. October 7th, 8 p.m., 2025. Be there or be square, como decimos. You've also got Kyle Miller, Dave Boyes, Chris Frank. Don't forget about Jessica Fernandez and the Hour to Empower. And the man, the myth, the legend, you know him, Richard Vaughn. That's right, you can have a 1-hour class with Richard Vaughn every day for free. Try getting that off the radio. He doesn't have much time in his schedule, so it's like when people ask me, Alberto, can I get classes with you? I'm like, yeah, 10 hours a week. Sure. Just tune in to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. All right, my amigos, let's rock and roll. We've got a lot of challenges up ahead. And again, thanks for bearing with me today because I'm a little bit, I was going to say under the influence. Well, yeah, I did take some strong medication. So I am a little lightheaded, but I'm not really under the influence. I'm under the weather. All right. So my amigos, are you ready? It's time for today's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
What? Triple trouble. Triple?
I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It is double trouble here on the show with no name, but it's not double today. It is triple trouble. That means we're going to take a look at the same word 3 times in today's challenge. Are you ready? Coge esta hoja de papel antes de que se me olvida y quítate esa combinación. Combinación. I don't know if people still wear those. I know grandmas used to wear them. So, coge esta hoja de papel antes de que se me olvida. Y quítate esa combinación. You've got to use the same word 3 times. Good luck, my amigos. It's going to be a tough one today. All right. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the 4th and final time. Elena already got it. Let's see if anybody else can join her on the podium.
Over the next 6 weeks, you will see so much of me that I will be like everyone to you. It will seem as if all the people who are normally around you are me. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. If you want to find out more about our masters, about Vaughn Town, about materials, upcoming events like our trivia night, make sure you're following us on social media and you'll be in the loop. You'll be in the know. All right, let's take a look over here. German says, for a second there, I thought this was Scary Movie Spelling Bee. Yeah, I think this is the first time nobody got it. Like, not even on the second go, which is crazy. You know, well, it's all right, guys. This is, again, the hardest section on the show by far. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, close but no cigar. No, it's not, sino no. Close but no cigar. Traducción, uy. Close but no cigar. Next time, friends. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a totally native. But you got to promise next time to put close but no cigar. Elena says, German, this section is a nightmare. Oh, I always say, it's not for the faint of heart. No es apto para cardíacos, amigos. Elena says, good effort, though. Well, that's all I can ask, right? If you do your best, then I can't ask you for anything more than that. Let's see, Suze. Hey, what's up, Suze? Thanks for joining us. She says, morning AA. In the UK, too, it's an offense to warn other drivers of police presence. But we still do it anyway. Yeah. You could get in a lot of trouble, because they're like, wait, he just took $200 from me. Well, that's the least the fine is going to be that he was going to give you for a broken headlight or something like that. So, you got to be careful with that. You want to help your fellow drivers, but also you don't want any infractions either. Let's see. We've got Elena participating in our triple trouble. And she says, take this slip before it slips my mind and take off that slip. Pues yo he puesto póntelo, I think. No, quítate. Did I say quítatelo? Maybe I did. Yeah, I did say quítatelo. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, y quítate. You got it, Elena. Why am I even doubting you? I'm delirious. Don't pay any attention to me. Ni caso. All right. So take this slip, or this slip of paper, right? A slip, you can say a piece of paper, but slip is another way to say it. So take this slip of paper. A lot of times we talk about when we were kids, do you have your permission slips? When we had a class trip, you would have to bring in a piece of paper signed by your parents, a permission slip, a pink slip. You know what that is? In the United States, back in the day, I don't know if they still, the term still exists, but I don't know if it's actually a pink slip of paper. But before, if you got the pink slip, you got fired, right? Porque era una hoja rosa. So another usage of slip is also resbalarse, right? If you aren't careful, you could slip. The floor is very slippery when wet. You give love a bad name. Bon Jovi, slippery when wet. All right. So take this slip of paper before it slips my mind. Antes de que se me olvida. Y quítate esa combinación and take off that slip. All right. So there you go, my amigos. Yeah, it's a weird one, that slip, right? It could have been honestly, guys, I could have made it a quadruple trouble, but it slipped my mind. Yeah, next time, instead of saying, I forgot, I want you to try saying, it slipped my mind. And this way you'll sound totally native. Let's see. Elena says, you just slip up. You just slipped up. Okay, to slip up is to make a mistake. Excellent job, Elena. It was a little slip up. Okay? A little slip up. Un percance. A little problemilla there. Slip up. Right? Equivoca. Well, you say the same thing. Patinar. Meter la pata. I had a little slip up. Right? We also have a Freudian slip. Did you know this one? A Freudian slip is when instead of saying the number 6, I say the word sex, because that's what I'm thinking about. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent job. As I said, not the easiest today, but Elena figured it out. Excellent job. All right. Also, let's take a look at these words we had in our spelling bee. This is a really tough one today. And the reason I chose these words is because today, in the year 1948, the Honda Motor Company was formed. Honda. You say Honda? We say Honda. I guess we'll just have to ask the Japanese how it's pronounced. Well, in the States, we say Honda. Okay. And this is a company, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, because they don't just make cars and motorcycles, but they also make airplane parts and all kinds of things. It's a huge Japanese multinational conglomerate. And it's located in Toranamon in Minato, Tokyo. Toranamon is the business district. I've been there. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I've been there. Toranamon. So number one, that was the founder, Soichiro Honda, right? He was the guy who in 1948 established the Honda Motor Company. And of course, it has his last name. It's named after him, to use the phrasal verb. Again, number two was Toranamon, which is the business district where their headquarters is located. It's in the area of Minato, Tokyo, because Tokyo is huge. I mean, it is huge. And the last three were their best-selling models, sus modelos que más se venden. So you've got the Civic, the Honda Civic, which sold 30 million units. Okay, 30 million. Remember, we don't say millions. And you write 30 million, 30.000.000. Nosotros no. Es 30,000,000. So just remember, it's a really important thing when you're writing down numbers, commas and periods. Well, we use the opposite one. So where you say 8,8, we say 8.8, right? So the next one is Accord. I remember a lot of my friends having a Honda Accord when I was in high school and in college. Well, the Honda Accord sold over 14 million models, otra vez 14,000,000. And the last one was Fit/Jazz. So depending on what country you were in, this model was called Fit or Jazz. And that model has sold 5 million units. So there it is, folks. Today's spelling bee, the Honda Motor Company, founded today in 1948. All right, but we've got a lot to do, so let's get going to the movies, or as my friend Suze would say, the cinema.
Name that movie.
All right, let's take a look over here. This movie is amazing. And I think when I was a kid, I must have watched this movie 100 times, 200 times easily. And it's an old school movie. In fact, it came out when I was only 2 years old, but I probably saw it probably when I was about 5 or 6. And I remember, too, at that point, we had a VHS. And there was a remote, but the remote had a cable. Tenía un cable, el mando. So, yeah, we were ahead of the times, but at the same time, you couldn't go too far. But I do remember you could rewind and fast forward from your seat, but of course, you had that cable there. All right, so I'm going to tell you the whole thing because you guys call this character something different. In fact, every time I tell people my middle name, they always said, ha, 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 yeah, like this character. And I'm like, what character is that? I've never heard of that character. So we have changed the name. Well, you have changed the name drastically. All right. Kermit and his newfound friends trek across America to find success in Hollywood. But a frog legs merchant is after Kermit. Who's Kermit? You know Kermit? Hey ho, Kermit the Frog here. That's probably a really bad imitation. Well, you guys call him my middle name. O sea, las veces que me ha dicho, como la rana. I'm like, ¿qué rana? And then I realized the rana Gustavo is Kermit. And it blew my mind. And then I said, you're calling me Kermit then, huh? You calling me Kermit the Frog? Okay. The roving reporter. So, yes, Kermit. Well, it's got to be something to do with the Muppets, right? Los teleñecos. So Kermit and his newfound, recién encontrados, conocidos, trek across America. To trek es hacer una caminata, un viaje por los Estados Unidos to find success in Hollywood. But a frog legs merchant, un vendedor de anclas de rana, is after Kermit. Va detrás de Kermit, or as you call him, Gustavo. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Valrol. The movie is The Muppet Movie. It's the original one. There have been many new ones in the last decades, but this is the original one, the one where it all started, and it came out in 1979. And again, I remember there was probably a point in my life where I knew every scene from this movie. I knew it word for word. And it stars Jim Henson. Many of you know Jim Henson didn't only create the characters, but he also voiced many of them as well. Frank Oz. If you've never heard of Frank Oz, he's probably one of the most talented actors slash voice actors slash puppeteers in the world. Frank Oz, como el Mago de Oz. Look him up. The guy is a legend. And he did many, many voices in this and in The Muppet Show, which was a very popular show as well. Let's see. Chris says, I love the Muppets. Me too. And Muppets is a mix of two words, marionettes and puppets. That's right, Muppets. Now, don't call a person a Muppet porque le estás llamando un tonto. This guy's a Muppet, okay? Let's see. Elena says, Kermit the Frog in my neck of the woods was La Rana René. Yeah, that's true. I heard that one too. Oh, man. La Rana René in Mexico. I love it. Kermit, you guys just didn't like Kermit, huh? All right, let's take a look at the scene here that I've chosen. So, Kermit says, well, I have a dream too. Yo tengo un sueño también. But it's about singing and dancing and making people happy, contentando a la gente. It's the kind of dream that gets better the more people you share it with. No, cuanto más lo compartes, mejora ese sueño. And I found a whole group of friends who have the same dream. And that kind of makes us like family. Hey, birds of a feather. No, lo hemos visto. You have anybody like that, Hopper? He's telling him, ¿tú tienes amigos? ¿Tienes alguien que te importa un montón? He's saying to the bad guy. You have anybody like that, Hopper? I mean, once you get all those restaurants, el momento que abras todos tus restaurantes de anclas de rana, who are you going to share it with? ¿Con quién lo vas a compartir? Who are your friends, Doc? ¿Quiénes son tus amigos? Those guys? ¿Esos tíos? So there you go. Kermit the Frog. And the movie is The Muppet Movie, which came out in 1979. All right, folks, it is time for, you guessed it, famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. And let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. The first person was born in the year 1969. He is an American drummer, songwriter, and producer. And he's most commonly known by his stage persona. When we say persona, decimos personaje, no su fachada. And that is clown. Kind of like Kiss. They dress up, but it's not Kiss. The band I'm talking about is Slipknot. Hey, we looked at the word slip before. Maybe that was on purpose. It slipped my mind, right? So Slipknot, nudo corredizo, same thing. But as many of you know, if you're into some heavy music, Slipknot is also a band that wears masks. Number two, this person was born in 1936, an American puppeteer. Let me rewind. The American, por excelencia, the American puppeteer, director, producer, and screenwriter. He created The Muppets. Oh, and don't forget about Fraggle Rock. Set your cares away. Worries for another day. Let the children play. Down at Fraggle Rock. He also did The Dark Crystal and the movie Labyrinth as well. And he grew up in Mississippi. I was lucky enough to go to see where he grew up, his high school. And I'll tell you what, when you see where he grew up, you understand why he wrote about swamp creatures, criaturas del barrizal. Because if you look around that area, it's called the Bayou. Well, further down, if you go further down, the Bayou is in Louisiana, but it starts to get really muddy and swampy down there. That's where you get the crocodiles and all that stuff. So this guy grew up seeing frogs and seeing all these creatures, and he said, well, I'm going to make them anthropomorphic, which is to give them human qualities. And the rest is history. All right, and last but not least, this Canadian-American, he had dual citizenship. This Canadian-American actor and screenwriter was in Saturday Night Live. Oh, man, I loved him in Saturday Night Live. He also was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and he was in The Simpsons. He played Troy McClure, in fact, until he passed in 1998. All right. And this is the kind of guy where you're like, he was one of the funniest guys I've ever seen in my life, but troubled. Yeah. In fact, he was sleeping in his bed when he was shot and killed by his wife, and then later she killed herself. So, yeah, wow. Talk about comedy marred by tragedy. It's crazy. This guy's life is so interesting, because when you saw him, you're like, happiest guy in the world, funniest guy in the world. But he was suffering, man. Mental health, substance abuse, a wife that's crazier than a shithouse rat. Well, he was crazy too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a winner. Please give it up for Chris Valrol. Number 1, Sean Crahan from Slipknot. It didn't slip my mind. Number 2, Jim Henson. And number 3, Phil Hartman. And this is going to bring us to Phil Hartman doing a sketch on Saturday Night Live where he plays a drill instructor, okay, or a drill sergeant. A drill sergeant, drop and give me 20 push-ups, men. Right? The ones who, when you go to basic training, beat your ass. Those guys. So he goes, the next 6 weeks, los próximos 6 semanas, you will see so much of me, me vas a ver tanto, that I will be like everyone to you. Yo voy a ser tú todo, tú todos. It will seem that all the people who are normally around you, que toda la gente que normalmente tienes alrededor, are me, que yo soy todos de esos. Do I make myself clear? ¿Ha quedado claro eso? And then what they say in the military, sir, yes, sir. There you go. All right, here it is, Phil Hartman in a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Over the next 6 weeks, you will see so much of me that I will be like everyone to you. It will seem as if all the people who are normally around you are me. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir.
All right, great job, everyone. Wow. Thank you again. We got through it. I should say I got through it. My wife was like, are you sure you're going to be all right? And I said, well, listen, worst case scenario, last resort, último recurso. Well, if I can't continue, I can't continue. But we did it. I did it thanks to your help, thanks to your energy. And I know tomorrow I'll be feeling tons better because I have a few more things to do today, but I'm going to take it pretty easy this afternoon. All right, amigos, and we're going to say goodbye with an awesome song. This is Slipknot, since it's the drummer's birthday, Clown, as they call him as well. And the song is called Wait and Bleed, and it came out in 1999. Let's rock and roll. Thank you, everybody. An absolute pleasure, despite being under the weather, a pesar de estar pachuchillo. Thank you. Ciao for now.